what a week for South African football. And I always say this. We've never had a good year like this in South African football. Why the coach is always making those subs. And those subs, they're not helping the team at all. Look, to be honest, really, I mean, winning a game, playing a draw against a top team. No, those two, a draw against a top team and a win, it's something else, guys, because of Dr. Irvin Khoza. And I will say it now. Thanks to Dr. Irvin Khoza, because you were a father to me, you guided me, you shouted me, you were angry at me as a father to me. And that man. Oi, welcome to Tso's Football Wisdom. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share, and post. We are on Omni Audio Africa. Oi, sekunjalo.
Isikhathi man. It's been an interesting week. Lesoka kuyo. Mamelodi Sundowns were out in the United States playing the FIFA Club World Cup. Unfortunately, they've been knocked out. They couldn't make it as far as the last 16. And I think we didn't really get to review some of the matches. So what do you make of their performance when they played against Borussia Dortmund?
What a week for South African football. And I always say this. We've never had a good year like this in South African football. We've never, ever in the history of South African football have a year like this one. You know, well done to Mamelodi Sundowns. Gabrielo, you made us proud. You made us proud. Look, I said it on Tso's Football Wisdom that I'm your number one fan. You guys, you've went there. You've shown them what South African football is. What is it that we can do? Yes, some they will say, no, but you guys didn't go to the second round and so on and so forth. But when you look generally in terms of how we have achieved, I mean, winning a game, playing a draw against a top team. No, those two, a draw against a top team and a win, it's something else, guys. You know, we're talking about the champions of the leagues from their own countries in their own continents, and it says a lot. It says a lot about that. And for me, look, I've never been so proud watching Mamelodi Sundowns against Borussia Dortmund. And look, football is a game of mistakes. I'm not protecting anyone. You know, some of you will say, yeah, no, you love certain players, so on and so forth. But what I'm saying is that football is a game of mistakes. And one thing I love about this game is that it gives questions and then you must come up with answers. And that's what Mamelodi Sundowns, I think they did, is that the game asked them questions and then they came with answers. And yes, there were mistakes from Williams, where he gave a pass to Umukwena there, and Umukwena, they took the ball and then they scored. And another one was, that pass from Saitinaga Lunga, and then they played inside, and then the man made a run from Umukwena. He left Umukwena in that midfield and went attacking. And a minute when Kekana went wide to go and close down that person, Mukwena was supposed to close Kekana's position to cover him, but he didn't do that. And the only player that came in that moment was Uluntuzana, Mr. Miyaki, Alende in that midfield, but to cover, but he didn't win the ball. Those are the things that we learn in the game, to say, the movement of the ball is very important, and the defensive midfielder, his role. Sometimes we get spoiled when we play with certain teams that you don't get players. And I always say this, if you don't get players running to the box, your chances of scoring goals are very slim. But when you've got midfielders that are joining in that box, you are creating chances. You're going to have more numbers in terms of creating chances or even scoring a goal. And that's what happened. They went there, and then the brother of Bellingham scored the goal, and it tells you in terms of the quality and how much they influence in terms of getting in the box. Because if you can look at the numbers that were there in the box of Borussia Dortmund, and it tells you that those guys, they know what they're doing. And yeah, but fighting back from Mamelodi Sundowns, yes, the coach, he made some changes, Allende out and certain players, but I was not pleased at all. I was not pleased at all not to see players like Mayema, being given a chance, especially in that midfield when we see that maybe Utemba Mshishi, the king of Mamelodi Sundowns, I was going to take him out in the second half and then put a player like Mayema that is also good with the ball, and he can score, he can take shots outside the box. His creativity level also it's good. And yeah, but nevertheless, in that game for me, wow. Well done to the boys, and I can't say you guys, you failed us in that game. You guys, you did the best. There were moments where I thought you guys, you can win this game. But yeah, football is football.
Football is football indeed. But I think so. It's safe to say that Miguel Cardoso doesn't know what he's doing at Sundowns, because if you look at the last two matches that they played in the Club World Cup, the coach is the one that cost the team those games. I think he struggles in reading the game, and he struggles in knowing which players to play. I'll make you an example. I don't know why he didn't play Mudiba in that match against Fluminense. Mudiba, we know that he's very good going forward, and he's good also defensively. They needed creativity in that match, but the coach didn't put him. So in terms of Miguel Cardoso as a coach, how far do you see him going, or how far do you see him take this Mamelodi Sundowns team?
Look, I said this before, and it's worrying, and I sometimes caught in between, because I ask myself, does the analysis team give the wrong information to the coach, or the coach doesn't take what the analysis team they are giving him? He's doing his own thing. I don't know. But based on the game itself, I doubt that the analysis teams, they don't see what I'm seeing in the game. They see exactly the very same thing. But now, I don't know why the coach is always making those subs. And those subs, they're not helping the team at all. Look, to be honest, really, for me, the coach, he was worried about not conceding. He didn't really care much in terms of attacking, scoring goals. He didn't care much. I think he just had to realize, to say, look, I've got players that individually they can do something out of nothing. And I think for that's one thing that I think him spoilile, in the manner that he didn't arrange his team in terms of, look, this is how we defend. When we've got a ball, this is how we can break out, and then this is how we can score a goal. Because, to be really honest, we had Umutau on the right side, going up, trying to play those passes, and Umutau did very well. Look, Umutau did very well. And again, I'm not saying Lunga didn't do well. Lunga, for me, going to Club World Cup, I suspect that Lunga will be, that's where the water will run through, But he was solid in defense. He was solid. To be really honest, he was solid in defense. He did his primary job very, very well. But one thing that I was worried about with him is that when we've got the ball, give us an option. Can we play with you? Can we get out in that left side, using you also having a combination play with Matthews on the left-hand side? That was questionable for me. And I believe that Mudiba, in that position, that's why I sometimes ask myself that does our coach really knows his players? Or because remember, there's something that I've realized, I've picked up with this coach. There's a difference when you plan to defeat this team, Mamelodi Sundowns, and there's a difference when you need to plan. Having the very same players, you need to plan to win the game. I think Coach Caruso is caught in that position where he knows how to plan against Sundowns and defeat Sundowns. But now he's got Sundowns at his disposal, but he can't use the strength of Mamelodi Sundowns to win. And I think that's where the problem is with him. And yeah, look, to be really honest, I don't think Caruso will stay long at Mamelodi Sundowns. Looking at the way he's playing, because his philosophy of football is to defend. You see how he structures his team, and if you look at the back four, you had to see most of the time Mudau going up or Lunga going up. They always stationary in their position play, and now they like playing he plays positional play and more or less in positional play, because his players, they need to be in those positions, not moving around, try to find spaces, think for themselves in terms of what can I do when I'm in the field of play. So for me, I've got a lot of questions with him. I doubt he's gonna stay. He's gonna stay this season, Coach Caruso, with the type of football that he's playing. Because when you look back, the coach that left a very good remark of himself in the PSL League is Coach Rulane, where he lost one game. That's why it was also difficult for Coach Mangoba, to be also in there, because he lost about MTN 8, he didn't go to the finals, and he lost against Iluntuzana in Polokwane City. So it tells you about what this game demands from the coaches. And where I'm sitting now, I don't think Coach Caruso will last this season.
I mean, if you ask me, I hope they keep him so my team, Orlando Pirates, can win the league. Khotman, actually, speaking of Orlando Pirates, they look serious, eh? They look like they really want to challenge Sundowns this coming season.
Yeah.
They've announced a couple of signings, but the standout, of course, that everyone is talking about is Sipho Mbule. It was so unfortunate that when they announced Sipho Mbule, you had just left.
Yeah.
And then we couldn't talk about it live at that moment in time. Your favorite player is a Buccaneer, Khotman Gonzagala.
You see, when I do this, you must know there's trouble. I like this boy. I know this boy when he was playing for development at Supersport United. Him, Nabo Mudiba, and Abo Mukwena. Before I can go further in that, let me say this. The reason why I'm saying I know this boy, and from way back when he was playing for development, when we were still playing back then, remember we used to cut and razor. Before I can even get to PSL, we used to cut and razor before the match, the main match, where maybe Pirates would play against Supersport, or Pirates maybe Chiefs, or Pirates, whichever team. We used to cut and razor and play before those games. And that's when our supporters, they started to know us, players, to say, hey, we've got this player in our development, we've got this player there and there. And that's when I saw Abo Mudiba, Abo Mukwena, Abo Sipho Mbule. And, I like those boys. And when they get to professional level, I was not surprised at all. And I always say to people, watch the space. These boys are quality. I remember with my colleagues, we had an argument when Tebogo Mokoena went to Mamelodi Sundowns, and a lot of people were saying, no, he's not going to fit well, his style of football and Sundowns. And then I said, look, that boy is quality. That boy, he's got something that there's no midfielder here currently now in South African football that come closer to that boy. And he's something else. And when now people see him, now they started to realize, to say, hey, Tso told us, man, it's good. Same applies to Mbule. I said, this boy, he's something else. You know, Mbule, you can see him as a very slow player, a player that doesn't have speed, a player that doesn't have pace. But he's thinking with the ball. He makes the game to be more fast. You know, when I look at Mbule, I remembered players like Abu Tebogo Mloyi, Abu Dr. Khumalo, you know, Lau Makrutmane. They didn't have speed. They didn't have speed. You know, but the thinking with the ball, you can even think that somebody Ulonduzana is very slow. He doesn't have speed, doesn't have pace. Utebogo Muloyi, not Dr. Khumalo. But they are thinking. They had a powerful thinking in terms of when they've got the ball, releasing the ball. They will make the game fast. They know how to cool down the game. They know how to pace up the game, you know, to say, look, we're going to them. You know, with their brains, you know, they knew how to do things. And when I look at Mbule, that type of a player where he's slow, but he's thinking, it's powerful, that boy. That boy is so good. He's so good. And now he's playing for a big team. Ezimnyama ngenkani zakhe phulumuzi ngamasipala zawenziwa. Ezimnyama ngenkani. Amapagania, but the more Pagania. This is where I said the Pirates, they needed somebody, you know, because remember that Pirates say the ball will come from the defense, Champama midfielders, Iele Pambili, and then Abomfukeng, Tito, or Nkota, or Mahopa, or Mabasa. They will play second ball. And it, you know, sometimes it was not working, you know, but because of the type of the midfielders that Pirates in Nabo, they couldn't do that ball game. But now with the Mbule, you know, now the game is going to be balanced now. That at some point they will play Mbule, Mbule will turn and then make Tito play, will make King Ama 2000 in Nkota. Now our game is going to be more balanced now. The creativity is not going to come from the final third only, even from the deep midfielder. Even here in the midfield, the pass, those passes Mbule can play. Lapana Pambili for Abonkota and King Ama 2000 and Tito. So it's going to make that pirate ship very, very strong now in that midfield. Because we needed somebody that can boss that midfield in terms of, yes, I mean, look, guys, don't take me wrong. Oma Ketleni did very well. Umbata did very well, but there was an element that we needed, of which Ile Egalontuzana Egambul, that is going to add in that midfielder in terms of the creativity, because we cannot dwell most of the time that Abu Sesana, Abu Sibisa, Abu Mbogazi, that they need to play it long, and then second ball lapana Pambil. You know, sometimes it benga sebenzi, but because of the material scenario and the type of the players, that's why we had to get those balls ayelapana. But now our team is going to be more balanced and very strong in terms of because if you can check our defense, they're solid, man. They're solid, those boys at the back, Abu Sibisi, Mbogazi, Lapane Mova. So now it tells you to say, Pirates, they mean business. Pirates, they know what they wanted this season. And another thing that I will tell you now is that Pirates have learned, you know, football is a game of mistakes. We all make mistakes in football. And even the management, they also make mistakes because that's football. And I think the mistake that the management of Pirates did was not to sign anyone on the January window period, because I don't know why they didn't sign anyone, but they've learned from that to say, if we want to go further in the Champions League and win the Champions League, it means we need to do the right things. And what they're doing now, that's one thing that they're doing it best, especially by getting Sipho Mbule. And it happens that I spoke to him. I spoke to him last week, and I can even show you on my phone that I spoke to him, encourage him, and ask him to say, look, boy, I believe in you. I'm your fan. I'm your fan. I like your football, and just keep on working hard and leave the rest to us. Because the only mouth that you've got, it's your legs that will talk for you. And then if you want to talk, we are here. We'll talk for you. And you are this type of a player that even in our national team, the Bafana, we need that type of a player that can get that ball in the midfield and play those passes, to the with players, and also here central, because you're not scared. You've got a good eye. You are a good passer, good reader of the game, and we also need a player like you in the national team. So if you can work hard again and do what you can do best, like you always do. Nalapha Super Sport, we did it with Sundowns, we did it Nalapha Skukune. If you can just, raise a kancane your bar again, so that I can see you. I'll be happy to see you in the Bafana. And I don't question anything about you. I just need you to put more effort in your game, and I wish you all the best.
Man, given his behavior and obviously all of these allegations that are made about him on social media, him being ill-disciplined, how far do you see him going at Pirates? Do you see him lasting Lapago Pirates? Was it even a wise decision to sign him?
There's one thing about Orlando Pirates. Specifically, there's one thing about the chairman, Dr. Irvin Khoza. And, with Sipho Mbule, the advice that I will give it to him now is that, boy, we all make mistakes in life. No one is perfect. No one is perfect in this life. We all make mistakes. And my wish now for you as we are at Pirates, look at me now. You see, today, I'm a father, I'm a husband, I've got a family, I've grown up. I'm a bit wiser than I was before. You know why? Because of Dr. Irvin Khoza. And I will say it now. Thanks to Dr. Irvin Khoza, because you were a father to me, you guided me, you shouted me, you angered me as a father to me. And that's one thing that I will say to you, Sipho. Even, ask. Maybe twice or 3 times a week. Ask for an hour. Ask for an hour with the chairman. And when we are there, be a child, be a young boy to him. He's gonna show you. He's gonna show you a way. He's got a lot of things to say. And I remember one day he said to me, boy, you know why everyone is after you? I said, why, chairman? He said, when you are a hero, everyone wants to bring you down. So I'm saying to you, Sipho, you are a hero, boy, and everyone wants to bring you down. But the only person that is going to take you down, it's you yourself. You're going to take yourself down. No one else. So I'm saying to you, go there, ask the chairman, even twice or 3 times a week. Just go there and spend an hour or 2 with the chairman. I've learned a lot from Dr. Irvin Khoza. Look, when I'm talking about, he's got time to act as the chairman of the team. He's got time to act as a father. When you engage with him, being a child to him, he will act like a father. He will show you a way. I know it's tough. I know he's tough. I know his end. I'm from there. I know sometimes his hand is very, very tough, but for a good cause. For a good cause. So I'm saying to you, boy, we all make mistakes in life. You've made your mistakes. Hope you've learned from your mistakes. And now we are looking forward to a new chapter. And I said to one of the journalists who called me, I said, this is not his second chance. No, personally, I don't believe in that you've got a second chance. This is the one step up to what you want to achieve in life. And if you're going to focus, the age is still on your side. If you're going to focus in your game, who knows? You can even go overseas. You can play for our national team. Now we're preparing the qualifying games and AFCON, World Cup qualifying games and AFCON qualifying games. And for me, if you can do well like you always does in the game, look, the rest is history. But what I'm saying to you now is that you made a mistake, boy. That is what under the bridge now. Now, as I'm talking to you now, that is what under the bridge. Now focus on your career now. And try and cut certain things if you have to, cut certain things. But the most important thing that I will tell you now, ask the chairman twice or 3 times a week for an hour or 2, just to spend time with him and talk to him and open up to him. Tell him, what's your problem? He's a father. He's as much as he's a chairman, he's got time to be a father, he's got time to be a chairman. And he's going to give you a very good guidance. You see, I can talk today. Where do I get that courage? Where did I learn all these things? You know, I've learned a lot about football growing up there at Paris. Because of him, at some point he will act as a chairman of the team. You know, being disciplined as the chairman of the team. And sometimes you will come and be disciplined as a father, being, in a personal level, beside the football part. But on a personal level, he becomes a father and he's going to show you the way. So, yeah, if you can do that for me, you'll be doing a favor to yourself. And watch, after a few years, you'll come back and say, as a Khurutman young chela. And I did that to look at myself where I am today.
Khotman, I mean, he's your favorite player, who I'd like to assume that he kind of reminds you of Lesas Katsako when you used to play. There are a bit of similarities, box-to-box player, even just how he approaches the game. Manje Semupelo number 15, Nok. Do we give him your number 15?
Bafethi man mfuthathela umfana manje naye man. You know, this is one thing that I don't like when my favorite players they go to one team. That's one thing that I don't like, because now I don't know what to do. No, because I was wearing number 5 at some point at Pirates when Grootman Gavin Lane, when he retires, I took number 5. And then with time, I was 115, and then I was 15. Let's leave my boy, man. I see me again, my boy, man. I like also this boy, man. You know, now this question puts me in a difficult position now to decide and say, look, I can give Mbule 5. I don't know who's. I'm not sure it's not number 5. Yeah, I can give him a 5, man. Not 15. I see me again about 50, man. Unless even Ndlondlo is leaving, because I hear that he can go to Umar Mokaland Lapaya. But if he's still there at Paris, Ndlondlo, let's give Mbule number 5. But if Ndlondlo he leaves Paris and goes to Umar Mokaland, then please, there I will say please give him 15.
But I mean, Khotman, I think we can argue Guti Mbule deserves it more, and Mbule is a better player than Ndlondlo, just my opinion. And Ndlondlo now, he hasn't been getting much game time at Pirates, so I think it would be a good thing for him to leave. Maybe I gonna lapana kumarumo, where he's gonna get a lot of game time. Khotman, my rivals were Orlando Pirates, Kaizer Chiefs. Labantu Labayana, they're not saying anything, eh? Like, I mean, they've announced a few signings, but for me, it doesn't seem like they're investing in the future. It doesn't seem like they want to come back and compete this season and at least finish in the top 8. What do you think of the current players that they've signed so far?
You know, there's these words that I always say. Love is blind, Buffett. Love is blind, because even even though you don't see something good, but you'll always associate yourself with it because the love is there. You know, this team, they've got a lot of supporters, you know, and these supporters, they love this team with all their heart. They love this team. They go and support this team. No matter what, they go and support. But the team is not coming to the party, you know, to compliment what the supporters are doing for the team, and it hits me hard, you know. Look, I don't know those type of players are really that they sign and yeah. Look, now I can offer them my son. I mean, my son is out of contract from Richards Bay. Take, you have my son in that attacking position. He can do something for the team. He's available. He's available, so he can do something for the team. But I'm not in other players. I'm not really convinced. And also I heard they said they're gonna sign Modric from England. Well, if he's that, you know, if he's that good, why he's not breaking in the Premiership there in England? If he's that good, why do we think a second tier player is playing in the second tier division, he can come here and be the best in our league? It's, for me, we need to sit down and question ourselves in that. Are we taking ourselves serious in that manner that we are? Look, Chiefs is here. This is a big team. It's here. Chiefs is here. So you need a player that really can compete in this level. So for me, I doubt. You know, and that's why you hear me saying now that I can, you know, my son also is available, so he can go to Chiefs there and help the team, and I know he can do better. So I'm looking forward to see what type of players really Chiefs can get, and look at how Pirates they did. They identified those players and they gave themselves time, about 6 months, you know, in terms of seeing really those players that can they fit in the Pirates system. And I hope all the players that Chiefs are signing, they really did that research in terms of the players, because some of our players I've seen in the Betway Premiership that when they play against Chiefs, Pirates, Sundowns, they come to the party. But now when they play against, I would say, each other, against Marumo Kalanti, Polokwane City, TS Galaxy, you don't see them. That's my worry. That when you take such players where you only see them against you, but the other teams, you don't see them, it's worrying me that the mentality of the player in terms of playing against the smaller teams, he undermines those teams. That's why he only shines when you play against big teams. And it's worrying me when it comes to that. So I hope Chiefs, they did their homework very well in terms of looking at the players and in terms of where they're lacking as a team. Remember that when you go and look for players, you need to analyze your team, to get your team, your strong points, your weak points in the team, and then try and fix it there. So I hope they did their homework, and I just hope for the best.
We can only hope for the best. I mean, a good performing Kaizer Chiefs is good for the South African economy because they fill up stadiums, gamnandi maba performer sharp. But Khotman, another thing that I wanted to discuss with you is the issue of coaches. You know, we see Orlando Pirates have announced the signing of their new coach. I mean, a lot of supporters are complaining that and this is not who we were expecting. A lot of us were expecting Urulani. Kaizer Chiefs have decided to give Coach Nabi another chance, so he's going to be back in the Betway Premiership again this season. Mamelodi Sundowns now, it seems they're sticking with Miguel Cardoso. Maupega, like the season, I mean, comparing this past season and then looking ahead to the new season, which coach do you see performing best and why?
Look, you know, if Ronaldo went to Pirates, I was going to say Taco Blue raining or storm, this thing is going to Orlando. But now, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. But you know, if they can, you see now the way they're doing things. Pirates, they just need a very good coach. I don't undermine the new coach. Why I'm saying I don't undermine him, because yes, I see, you know, the good work that he did at Marumo Kalanse, but I'm not sure. I'm not really sure that he can do wonders at Orlando Pirates. And I thought with Coach Rulan and knowing those players, knowing how things are happening around at Orlando Pirates, the culture, the philosophy and everything, it was going to be a very good complement to the badge of Orlando Pirates. And Unabi, another preseason again is going for it. We will see. But I think this league is going to be open. As I'm talking now, there's something that is ringing on the back of my head now. You know, guys, don't be surprised seeing this coach surprising everyone. You know, I know that they always lose good players season in, season out, but they always fight and he's always up there. Who coaches Steve Parker? Watch that team. Be careful with that team. Watch that team. Because if Pirates trying to find themselves with the coach, the new coach here, Coach Nabi looking for himself in terms of getting players that will help him. This side, Coach Cardoso is changing the philosophy of Sundowns, but recently in the Club World Cup, now he says, now I understand what Sundowns fans they want. Yes, they want to win, but with the style. Because that's why they call them Abafana style. So they want to play that beautiful, that Bian and Shushai football. So he's also struggling in terms of getting that by looking at him in terms of playing. Because certain players, he's not playing them in good positions. Certain players, he's not considering them anyway in the team. And those players, they bring that joy to Mamelodi Sundowns fans. And yeah, I think it's going to be a league where anyone can sit up there, because when I saw Coach Cardoso towards the end of the season, you know, play some draws, he struggles to win, and so on and so forth. So I'm not really sure with this coming season, how is he gonna do? But it's not a guaranteed like way back when we'd say definitely Sundowns are gonna take it. You know, Pirates they can surprise. If the coach, because I did listen to him, you know, on his interviews to say, you know, look, and when he spoke about Pirates, they've got good resources, you know, everything is run professionally on the Pirates, and, you know, when you've got the support like that in the team, you know, it makes job easier for the coach. So hope that the coach definitely, because Pirates is a big team, you know, the team was born in 1987, and it's not just a team. It's a very big team, because when you look at the PSL now standing, the Betway Premiership, they're standing because of this father. This is a father figure to everyone in the Betway Premiership. And I would say to him, in these three coaches, I wish him all the best. I wish him all the best, Coach Wadu, because, you know, he's got a good team. And he did very well at Marumo Kalans. You know, there are good signs from him that we're not complaining per se, but we're just asking to see, is he really good in a manner that can take Pirates to another level? Because remember, the other level that he needs to take Pirates is to take Pirates to the CAF Champions League final or winning the league, because I'm tired to see all of the Pirates second in the log, season in, season out. I want to see Pirates now winning the league. So hope Coach Wadu will win a league for all of the Pirates.
Hotman, let's talk some women's football, Gangan.
Yes.
We see there's a dilemma lapha kubanyana banyana. SAFA hasn't paid them their salaries, so I think some of the players went on strike, and I think this also explains why a lot of women decide to retire from national football and then just continue playing club football, because I mean, I'll assume it's because of the financial issues at SAFA, and the SAFA's not playing. Where's Anuteni Jordan lapha, Hotman?
You know, sometimes you get tired, man. Sometimes you get tired of talking one and the same thing every time. One and the same thing every time. This is not the first time this thing has to happen. I remember their captain, if I'm not mistaken, Dlamini, I think he's playing for Mamelodi Sundowns. After she stood the ground to say, look, I'm going to stand for my teammates. I'm going to stand for the sheep. That we're not going to play a game without our money. And he was victimized. She was victimized there. Because after that, then she didn't, start the games now. She was on the bench. After that incident of standing up for her teammates in that camp. And it's worrying me that when are we go? Guys, I want us to be honest now. Honest, it's something that I always put it out there. I wanted to be honest. What I'm going to say now, I want us to be honest. Who deserves to get paid? Money. Looking at Bafana and Banyana. I'm not saying they mustn't be paid, the Bafana. But, our priorities, they should be correct, guys. If we prioritize things, let's be really correct when we prioritize things, because Banyana, we're talking about champions of Africa. These are the people that we are talking about. Now they're going to defend that cup again. So what are you saying? They will go there and lose. Then we're going to come back again and say, yeah, it's because of their mind they will think about money than going there and fight for our country. These women, these ladies, they've been fighting for our country for years and years and years. They've been doing well, better than our Bafana. But now, when it comes to the financial part, then they always struggle. They always struggle, Banyana. So I don't know, guys. Please help me here. I don't know. I'm trying to be calm, but it's not an easy thing really to deal with. That these women, these ladies, they had to face this every time when they have to go for the Africa Cup of Nations, or for any camp that they need to go and attend. They always face crisis of financials. I remember that issue happened somewhere in Israel, if I'm not mistaken. Israel, I think if it was not Sinaba Stadium, maybe I made a mistake, but somewhere in Israel there, where they were playing a friendly and then they boycotted there. And I remember even seeing the Players Union guys, Abo Lontuzana, Abo Fire, Peter Khwabane, Abo Umatlo, Calvin Matlo, Nabo Tlantla Chabalala, seeing them there standing by those women, those girls, those ladies there to say, look, we are here for you guys. We will fight for you guys. And look, we can't, guys. We can't as a country, looking at our African champions again suffering for the very same thing. Please, guys, we need to do better. We all learn in life. We all make mistakes in life. But we can't make the very same mistake over and over again. How many times, Banyana, when they have to go and play Africa Cup of Nations, there's issues. When they have to go and play qualifying games for AFCON or for World Cup, there's issues. Oh, please, guys. Can you do better? Thank you.
Godman, just before We're happy here. Someone just also brought to my attention, Lana, Ati, what's happening with Pirates? What's happening with Saling, Lapago Pirates? Like, we still don't know. Pirates are signing new players and they're signing players. Some of the players they've signed play in the same position as Monapule Saling.
Look, Saleng is a Pirates player. We all know. I will say, as Orlando Pirates supporters and Pirates people, Saleng is a Pirates player. Saleng will be ready to work hard and fight for his position. Remember that no one is guaranteed the position in the team. You need to fight for that position. And mind you, when the team achieve things without you being there, it's also questionable to say, do you really need him? Or he needs to pull up his socks. And also by signing players, it should wake him up to say, you know what, if I'm not going to go back and work hard, that means that will be the end of me. Because whoever is going to get a chance is going to use that chance. I mean, look at Nkota. Nkota came in, did wonders. So now it says that, look, whether you are there or not, but this ship is still moving. So the ball, I would say now, the ball is in his court to say, let me go back, let me work hard, and then go on with my contract with Orlando Pirates, and then see at the end of my contract how are things gonna be. But yes, now it's all about, for him to pull up his socks and work hard and hope that his mind and his body is ready to go and fight for the black and white. Okay,
Khotman, I think singangena ku Q&A manje. We have a question coming from, although we spoke about this, I think he just joined, Lwandle Kofi. What do you think about Kaizer Chiefs signings?
Yeah, like I said, I'm not really sure really with those players. My question was that did they give themselves time to analyze those players and check those players whether are they good enough for Kaizer Chiefs, and looking at how Coach Nabi wants to play, because there's players that I think Coach Nabi he needs in terms of how he wants the team to play. And that's why I even said I can have my son. My son also his contract is up with Richards Bay. He can go there at Chiefs, and I know that he can also add the number in terms of attacking part, because I think they need players that will balance going forward, creating chances and scoring. So he can also come in and help the team. Yeah. So I'm not sure with the players, but I wish that those players, they can come in and help the team and help Coach Nabi, because look now our economy is not good. Everyone in South African football will agree with me. The economy is not good. Why? Because I'm a coach for life. They're not doing very well. Once I'm a coach for life, they will come to the party and challenge. I'm telling you, you'll see everyone is going to live a luxury life.
And then we have another question from Junior 247. Do you think Sundowns should release Shalulile?
No. Look, guys. This thing is touching me, especially here in South Africa. How old is Shalulile? 81. How old is Ronaldo? 40. Let's be realistic, guys. Let's be realistic. Why in South African football, our players, when they get to 31, 32, 33, then we want them to retire? And then we open our channels there. We watch about Modric, 38. We watch about Cristiano, 40. About Messi. How old are these guys? That we turn our channel. Our Suarez, how old are they? And then we're saying, now Shalulile must go. Shalulile must retire. No ways, guys. Let's not kill our boys, man. Let's not kill our football. We need these young ones to come and learn from them. But if you take them out of the picture, are they're going to learn from who, these boys? That's why you see these teams overseas. They always perform season in, season out. They always perform because they keep those experienced players. The young ones, they come in, they learn from these guys. Doesn't mean when Urenas is doing well, that means that Shalulia needs to go. No. If he's doing well, Urenas, let him continue to start the game. He's 10, Ushaluli will come back. And then he needs to prove to say, look, I've got experience, I've been in the game, I know how to do this. Learn from me. That's how it is. But now, if we push them out, now these young boys that are coming in, where are they going to learn? Who's going to give them advice and guidance in the game? You need experience. You need to mix youngsters and experience so that you can always achieve your goals in the team. But if you're going to go with young ones, you go with young players, you're not going to win anything because young ones, they've got energy, they'll run the whole day, they'll never stop. And they don't even see in some games that this game, we don't need to run, we just need to pass. But because they're still young, they've got energy, they just want to do things, they'll go all the way. That's when the experience comes in to say, no, this game today, we don't need to score 2 goals. We just need 1 and frustrate them. We're going to use our experience in terms of getting the ball, pass it there, getting the ball, passing there, keep the ball for a couple of seconds. You're going to have a cover there. You're going to have a support here, and then we are safe. That's the reason why you need experience in the game. And those experienced guys, they also help coaches in the field of play to guide those young boys that are coming in. So it's worrying me in our football in South Africa that our players here, when they get to over 31, 32, 33, now we're saying they must retire. But when it comes 9 o'clock in the evening, we're all opening our channels on SuperSport, watching about Cristiano, watching about Messi. And for me, it doesn't really make sense. When are we going to support our own? Let's support our own, guys. Ushalulile can still play, he can still do wonders in football. 31 for me, he's still young. That's some of the players, they get matured in that age. Now they understand the reason of playing this game, the reason of being a leadership in the team, being a leader in the team, why you are here. You are here because of what you've been doing, and you can still show again. Now, using more of your brain, your experience in the game. So for me, Ushalulile can still give us, as football people, something that we can talk about.
Grootman, we have a comment, Lana, from Udisco. Ati, this new Pirates coach, I only gave him 6 games, and he's gonna leave. He's not even gonna win the MTN 8.
That's harsh, man. Let's give him time, guys. Look, there's one thing in football is that the coach and the players, they need to find a way of clicking together and coming together and be one thing. So it's gonna take a bit of time for the coach to understand the quality of the players, and the players understand the coach what he wants, how he wants it. In terms of intensity, physique, and mentality, in terms of the focus. He demands 150 or he demands 100. Players, those are the things that a coach and players, they need time to find each other. And once they find each other, they will give us something. I mean, look at what happened with Jose. It took him a season, but after that season, things turned around and we started to see good things from him. So I think let's give him time also, the coaching. Let's give him time, let's give him support, and then the results will talk for itself.
Hotman, Mr. Elvis at Nkomati. Yeah, actually it's Azusa Masiza who brought something, Lana, to my attention. We almost forgot to talk about Cape Town City being relegated. So the question here is, what do you think went wrong with Cape Town City?
Look, I've been checking Cape Town City. There's one thing that came to my eyes, to my attention, was how many coaches that they had from outside and locally? And if I'm correct, Cape Town City, since Penny, they've never had a local coach. Correct me if I'm wrong. They've never had a local coach. They always come with coach from outside. And that's one thing that I always say. I don't have a problem with also, let me say, foreigners coming to South Africa or South African football. But I've got a problem if you bring a foreign coach or a foreign player that is not better than what we've got here at home. That's where I've got a problem. Cape Town City, I think, and like is that I spoke to chairman, Mr. Committees, a couple of weeks back, and he was not in a good space, and he was really honest to say, so it's not easy to find yourself in these shoes, where your team the door is open there for them to go to NFT, but it's going to fight not to go to NFT. But it's not an easy thing. And, it's he even said it's stressing that you find yourself in this position where in the history of football, I've never been in this position where now I need to fight for relegation. It's tough. And I've learned my mistakes. I did certain things that I was not supposed to do, and I've learned from that. And then going forward, I'll do better. Yes, it's disappointing that Cape Town City they went back to NFT. They went to NFT, and congrats, my daughter. Congrats to Obit. Obit, they did very well. The man himself. Sorry to say this, but in a good way of how things have been happening at Obit. The owner of Obit is the coach at Obit. That is the next Chomasono, the Prince of Africa. Remember that Oprah is the only chairman, is the only boss that he's running his team, he's coaching his team. That is Uchomason. And now here's Obit FC, that is the owner of Obit, and he's the coach. He's the owner, he's the chairman, he's the coach of the team. So far, so good. And I love the football that they're playing. I was watching you guys. I met some of your players. I think you were playing somewhere away, maybe somewhere on the north. I met some in one of the malls where some of your players, the team was going to have some meal there before going up to the north. And it was exciting to see those young boys. And I love what you've created. The chairman of Obit in that team, those boys, they look united. Those boys, they look like really a family. I saw them, and as a person that has been in the game, I can see, how's the atmosphere in the team, and it looks very good. I'm not surprised why you now at PSL, Betway Premiership. You did very well to put that team together, and well done to you, the chairman. Well done to the boys, and well done the people of the north. Of the northwest. Guys, there's a team now at Northwest. Please, guys, hey, wake up. There's a team now at Northwest. Oh, Northwest, the stadium is empty. There's a team now at Northwest. So that stadium should be packed. Everyone at Northwest, they need to come and support the Obit, guys. Please, man. This team, they need you guys. They're standing there for you guys. They're standing for Northwest, the Obit. So they need the support from you guys at Northwest. Please, can you do that? Yeah, if it happens sometimes, I'll also come and support you guys. Remember now, Obit. So it's football wisdom at Omni Audio Africa. will be your number one fan. I'll follow you guys. I'll follow you guys. I'm very pleased with how the chairman, the coach himself, the owner of the team, he does things in that team. And you did very well. Welcome to the Betway Premiership. And to my big boss, John Committees, I know that it's hard, but you've been here in this game. When I was born, you were in this game. I grew up, you were in this game. I've played, you were here. I've retired, you were here. I'm a coach, I'm an analyst, you are still in the game. You know you can do it. Do it again. Show us that you can bounce back.
Khotman, just before we wrap it, Durban City are back in the Betway Premiership. I mean, they were formerly known as Maritzburg United, but they've just fired the coach that promoted them to the Betway Premiership, and now there's a rumor that Gavin Hunt might be joining the team. What are your thoughts on that?
You see, firstly, let me say this. Well done, the chairman Kadoda. Well done. You did the job. You worked very hard. You went back to Durban, put things together. The team got a very good coach. Guys, I'm not talking like this because he's a close friend of mine. No. I'm talking based off the work. Coach Simo Dladla. We close. We talk. As football people, we talk. We share a lot of things. And I'm not going to say this based on his closer to my heart, but based on the work that he did for Durban City. Well done to Simo to take Durban City to the Betway Premiership. And you did a very good job. And also you, Chairman Kadoda, you did very well to have a coach like him that brought you back in the Betway Premiership after you relegated when you were at Maritzburg, when you've been called Maritzburg United, and now you went back to Durban and being at Durban City. Well done that you're back. Can I give you an advice, Chair? I don't know how to interpret this, but maybe some of you guys please will help me and maybe we'll translate it to the chairman. But ungasinyeli isihlahla because kusasa uzosdinga. I don't know how to interpret this in English. Because I'm saying this, no one was there for you when you were down there at Durban City. No one, Che. No one. But Coach Simo Dladla said, I can do this job. I can take you to the Betway Premiership. No one wanted to give you a chance when you went there at Durban City. But Coach Simo said, I'll come from Limpopo. I'll come and take this team to the Betway Premiership. And then now he took you to the Betway Premiership. Now you show him a door. Don't make that mistake, Chair. Don't make that mistake. That's a mistake that most of you, Chairman, you do. Somebody takes you from where no one thought you're going to come out of that situation. He puts you in a better place. And then now you think that person is not good enough. But at that time when you were there, you saw him as good as he is to take you to the Betway Premiership. But now you are back at Betway Premiership. Now you don't see him that he's got a value in the team. Please don't make that mistake. That mistake has cost a lot of teams in the Betway Premiership, where they come in and then they go out again with the very same mistake that you are doing right now. Learn from it. You've been in the game. I respect you a lot, same as John Committees, that we all learn in football. We make mistakes. We go back. We rectify those mistakes. We come back. But now you just rectify one, but you've caused another one mistake. You rectify your mistake that you went down and then you came back. Now you came back. Now you're showing the door. You open the door for the coach to leave. That's a mistake that you're doing. And it's going to cost you that mistake that you just did now. But I wish you the best in the Betway Premiership. Yabonga bafethu, yabonga lo mfana lona wakabongane Benedict Vilakazi bambiza uTso Little Napoleon. Umshika insizwe zishumi mayoda ngeke enze lutho. Nako ke bafethu kusuku njalo Tso's Football Wisdom. Please don't forget to subscribe, like, share and post. We are on Omni Audio Africa. Oi oi.